Anyway,
Anyway.
I'm guessing we started the podcast.
I don't know.
Like-
when I started the like posture conversation, I was kind of thinking, I guess maybe.
I was thinking,
But then,
I was thinking like,
okay, we're into it. So if you are listening to this, or whatever point you're listening to this, welcome to the Matt and Max podcast. It's episode 6, right?
yeah, I think so.
It
6.
is. Sometimes I think it is better to go just straight in, but then there has to be a point where you do address who's listening. I
Yeah,
guess.
like that's what I was thinking. I was like, do we address it? Do we not? Do we just carry on and pretend
Yeah.
like? But then we have, unless I message you or something, we have no way of knowing that we've actually started.
Exactly.
Start talking about something dodgy and get ourselves fucking banned from YouTube
Yeah.
or something.
I think if you are watching this, I will say this: like, I think now that I feel like we've got like a firm base of the podcast. We've got a start. We've got like a format and stuff. So now's where we can like experiment. You know, bringing on guests, doing that sort of
Yeah.
thing. I think one thing I was particularly thinking about was like really getting the viewers involved now. So if there's anything you guys really would like to hear our opinions on, then feel free to drop it in the comments. Because like when you don't, I think it is easy. Like when you're watching a podcast, to just not interact, like just enjoy it, and we won't even know about it, just to enjoy it by yourself.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
like, if you guys want to hear us like talk about something, then please do drop it in the comments because we do read every comment. It's pretty easy with the channel this size.
Yeah,
so.
it's unrealistic, but can you imagine if everyone who listened to the podcast, everyone who listened to it, left a comment about their thoughts and like what they thought about
Exactly,
it?
that would be
Oh my
scenes.
god, that would be insane.
Yeah.
I love reading the comments that you guys leave when you're like, you know, you talk about what you enjoyed, what you maybe didn't like, or
Yeah.
or like how it related to you, like knowing that you've like interacted with the podcast. We know a lot of you listen to it, and we know more people listen to it than we see in comments.
Yeah.
Like that comments represent, but. Yeah, if you guys listen to it and you don't leave comments because you think they won't get read or something, like honestly leave them. And if it sparks conversation or if it's something that's got, anything like that, we can bring it up in the podcast and talk about it. And
For sure.
yeah, we absolutely. I love comments.
Yeah,
Comments are sick.
literally, like, because like some people would. It's quite easy. Like if it's like an hour-long video, you'll get to the video and be like, "Oh, I'm so excited," and that'll be your comment. Like definitely go back to it and comment like after you've watched it what you thought, because like you said, if we see someone comment about something we discussed like 45 minutes in, it does feel good. Like they've watched to that part. It's like, oh, they've got that far, and it's like it is cool. So
Exactly,
if you guys are like watching this, listening to this, just comment anything, any opinions you have. But yeah,
And it is a bit of a commitment to listen to a whole, because when you're listening to a podcast, like for me anyway, when I'm listening to a relatable podcast, you know those ones that are like really relatable, you're like you sat there and you're gassing, you're like, oh, I love this.
Yeah.
Like when I'm listening to one of those and I'm thinking to myself like, oh, I could leave like a massive comment, like I could, there's so much I want to talk about, but that sort of happens as you're going through it.
Yeah,
It's
you
like
have
all
to
in
like
motion.
type it as you go, kind of thing.
Yeah, and then you get to the end of it and you're like, fuck, like what was all those things I was going to say before? So it is kind of hard to sort of go back and talk about things, but if you can, like if you can make the effort, obviously it's up to you guys, but yeah, it'd be awesome. And if it's a good enough comment, well, it doesn't have to be that good, but like if it sparks conversation,
that's the main thing.
Well, definitely, yeah, exactly, that is the main thing. Yeah.
So I started listening to this. I messaged you the podcast, The Basement Yard. I don't know if you've got on that.
Oh, I
at all.
didn't. No, I didn't.
Dude,
in the end. I will though.
They do it every week, and I've only listened to it on the train. It like made a 4-hour journey so much better. And I also had like
Really?
an hour. It was like a 3-mile walk yesterday. No, the day before yesterday, and I listened to a podcast. And the one weird thing is, because like when you see someone walking on with headphones, you just think, oh, they're listening to music, right? And it's the weirdest thing, like cracking up walking down a road, just like listen to a podcast, and I'm just like trying to keep it together, man. You're just walking.
Yeah.
There's cars driving past. It's like, why are you laughing? But,
I was doing that on the bus on the way to college before I used to listen to podcasts on the way to college and that, just cracking up on the bus. Everyone's looking at me like, what in the fuck?
Because it's like, although it's
I
like
love it,
it's
though.
big
I
on the
actually love
internet,
it.
it's still kind of almost an untapped niche in some ways. Like podcasts are huge.
It
Like
is,
you talk about the Joe Rogan Experience, like millions of people and all that. But like to the average person, it'd be very alien to listen to people talking while you're sat on a bus or walking.
It's weird that,
as
and
opposed
it's
to
only
music.
getting bigger. It's only getting bigger as well, man. I think Joe Rogan, I think he went up like 1 million, like don't quote me on this, but like 1.4 million subs, like
How long?
in a year.
Wow, yeah.
I think that was it. Like he's blown up this past like year. Like people like love him, man.
Yeah, it's
People
so
fucking love
interesting,
him.
and like it's when you feel part of the conversation, it's like really engaging and stuff. And speaking of like growth, dude, like not completely unrelated, but sort of unrelated. Ninja's subs, you seeing this?
Wait, no, I need to see this.
Man's
done?
like on 8 million.
Shut the fuck
Literally,
up.
yeah. He's gonna hit 10 mil in the next month, and he just got his silver play button.
He's on 8 million. He's gonna hit 10 mil. You could predict 2 mil in a month.
Dude,
what?
Last 30
Mate, his views are
last
unreal.
30 days. Guess how many subs? Before you look, how many subs do you reckon has gone up in the last 30 days?
Oh, mate. I literally like I don't know 3 mil.
Three and a half mil.
Really?
In a month, yeah. It's just
That's unreal.
that's
man.
like there's like
he played with Drake again. I've just seen as well.
Yeah, and he played with Marshmello, and that just like it really shows like that's like a new level of growth, and it shows the potential for really anyone. I mean, obviously he's he's exceptional kind of at what he does, like in terms of skill and entertainment.
Yeah, you got to devote your life to being good at a game to be as good as he. Like to I mean, you don't have to, not to be as big as him, but to, like to grow at his sort of. You got to be something proper fucking special.
But like
I remember. No, you go, mate.
I think the fact like, although it's like 3.5 million subs in a month is like unattainable for 99.9% of people, but the fact that is possible makes you think 350,000 subs in a month could happen, 35,000 subs in a month could happen. Like just bringing it down a bit to your scale.
Exactly.
Like people that say YouTube's saturated, like even for your Rocket League content, like if there's 1 billion people watching YouTube in a month, if you've got 0.01% of people, that's enough people to make a living.
Yeah.
You don't need everyone to look at you. That's the best part. Like the potential is so big.
And for now, that's honestly just the goal, is just to make a living.
Yeah.
Like that is what it is.
And it's so possible. Like so possible.
It is, mate.
Like,
and it's so annoying how close I get.
Yeah.
And I always fucking bottle it, mate. And it's oh mate, it's infuriating.
Even now though, you're in like a sick position, like as, with someone who doesn't have as many like adult bills, so to speak. Like you can make it work for now.
Oh no, for now, mate. The money I'm making from YouTube now is like it's fuck all in the big scale of things. But for me, it pays all my bills. That's the thing.
Which is
like
crazy.
YouTube and the sponsorship pays like everything. All of my direct debits, everything. So anything I get from when I do start work will be
it's house money, but profit.
Yeah, it will just exactly. It won't go towards anything. Like YouTube covers everything and some.
Yeah.
So it's
mad.
like that's insane, and it's doing something that I'll do regardless. Like probably wouldn't put as much time into it. Like, but yeah. Oh man, I'm still looking at Ninja's views. I can't. 14 hours ago, he's got 1.8 million. I mean, it was with Drake that one, so I guess.
Yeah.
But it doesn't really matter, mate. Like they're all multiple millions.
Yeah. Oh,
mate. What kind of money is that kid on? Mate? It's actually insane.
It's like with the like did like a rough calculation. But like mixed with sponsorships, Twitch donations, YouTube views, it's way over $1 million a month. I mean, that's excluding tax, but we're talking millions. Like, because if you think about it, he's got like 250,000 subs on Twitch, right? And he gets like
oh my God.
$3 to $4 per sub on Twitch. That's like
mate,
nearly $1 million right there. I swear. Like it's just
how many subs on Twitch?
I think it's something like 250,000, and each one to him is like $4 or $5. I swear.
Mate,
don't quote me on that, but like
no, I think it is something like that. Yeah,
it might be like there might be a smaller cut, but obviously he's like bigger, so he might get a better cut. But let's say it's $3 per sub.
Well, he's making Twitch right now.
Well over $500,000 in just that. Hundreds of millions of views on YouTube a month is hundreds of thousands of dollars. Donations. He said that there was this guy that asked him. He was like he basically said he did a $10 donation, I think, shouting out his channel, and Ninja was like, let's not do that because it doesn't cost. It costs more to do that. And then someone said, like, donated and said, can you play H1Z1? And he said, if you drop a 20k donation, I'll play H1Z1 because that's about as much as I get a day on a stream. Like,
okay.
For, like,
I thought the guy was actually going to drop a 20k donation for H1Z1.
So like a day's work for him on stream, like by what he said, is like 20k donations, I think, which is
what
like that, like bits and all that, because he streams for like 10 hours a day sometimes.
Yeah, to be fair to him, he does. Like it does. Oh shit! I just pulled my fucking earphones out. Yeah, no, it does. Like it does consume its life.
Yeah.
So you can't really. Like I remember having this conversation. I don't know if I had it with you or if it was with I think it was with my cousin. Yeah. You might have been in the chat. I'm not sure.
Maybe.
But I remember saying like, for this kind of money, even still, mate, I don't know. I really don't know. Like, would I trade sort of just my overall just health, because you have to sit down all day every day and play games. Like I absolutely love Ninja, don't get me wrong. I think he's incredible and like he's absolutely killing it. I'm so happy for him. But he can't be healthy. Like you can't be, and you're not. And especially when you look at the future, like maybe now he's doing fine, but if you look at maybe 5, 10, 15, 20 years from now, sitting down like playing games like all day like that, it can't be good, man. It can't be. And to be fair, I kind of do more or less. Like, I don't play games, but I'm sitting down all day. That's more or less anyway.
Like, I would do what he does. Like,
see, I don't know how to say it, because with that money, how can you say no?
but like also he does have like, if it is 10 hours a stream, you would work 9 hours a day anyway, or 8 hours. It's just a couple hours more.
You are right. You are right.
And it's just, but
to be that good, he's like. No, to be fair, you could 10 hours a day. No, you are right when you put it like that. I get what you mean.
Like 9 to 5 is 8 hours. You would hate your life and you'd do that. definitely 2 hours more I would sacrifice.
But when I was working that 9 to 5, I was so conscious about like, fuck me, man, I'm sitting down all day. Like when I sit down all day now, which I do a lot, obviously, and like it's something that I want to change, but it's something I can change because I don't have to sit down all day. Like if I was Ninja, I would have to, because you gotta stay. And also, I know what it's like to not on the scale that he does, but I've had a taste of what it's like and what it takes to sort of be a competitive gamer. That makes sense with Rocket League, and I know it's not what I want at all. So I would never try and be a pro at Rocket League again. Like at one point I did try, but I would never try again.
Shout out to the heavy car bug for that.
Yeah, literally shout out to that, mate, because I don't know where I'd be, mate, if that never happened. For those of you who don't, just for a bit of context, for those of you who have no idea what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
At one point in my life, I was putting in...
Was this like a year ago, was it? Roughly?
I think so, like
a year ago, April, May, I think. And then you got the heavy car bug and summer was the worst.
Yeah, so I was putting in like 8-9 hours a day into Rocket League. Like, I was playing from the moment I woke up to the moment I went to sleep, on top of making videos and that, and all that kind of stuff that takes like a few hours. But I was playing all day, every day, and I was getting not ridiculous, but I was getting good at the game. Like, to the point where I thought like, oh, okay, I can take this pro, and I was starting to take it more competitively and go to tournaments and stuff like that, and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, and then I got hit with this bug that has recently been confirmed to be true, so I don't give a fuck what anyone says. But I got hit with this thing where, like, my car just... Yeah, well, he calls it the placebo, but I get hit with this thing where my car, like, it just felt weird, and, like, it felt really slow, and the turning was shit and everything like that, and I hated the game, so I stopped playing it for, like, a month. And then now I sort of just play it for fun, and I'm honestly really glad that happened, because... Not only that, but my content was really geared towards gameplay and skill, which is, and I really want to be geared towards entertainment and like comedy. So like now for my videos, I'm putting in like
there's a little subtle edits and stuff that make it.
Yeah, just like I'm trying to make it so that, let's say Rocket League died, I'd still have the bot following I have.
Yeah,
and I feel like yeah, exactly. And it's, you got to think sort of like long term. If I could just play Rocket League all day, and I'd probably do a bit better for now, at least, if I played Rocket League all day, got really good, and started making like highlight videos, like Jayza, etc. But
for the long run.
In the long run, yeah.
That's why I feel like I have a few regrets of like my channel. Like like when I first started, before I did Rocket League, I'd do like different games after the whole Minecraft stage. But after like 50 videos, I'd do like different games every day and edit to a montage, and all the interaction on my channel was like good, and everyone liked me for like me, and they'd watch pretty much anything. But on a small scale, that's very easy. Like under 1,000 subs, it's quite easy to do that. Similar with your old videos, when you do any other game, people would kind of watch anything you play, even that Sugar game, you know?
Crazily, man. The Sugar. Oh shit! I can't believe I uploaded that.
But like naturally, when you get bigger, it is harder to do that. It depends like how you get big, and because I got big on one game, it was kind of like a lot of people want to watch for that game, and like there are like that core people that watch for me, but I wish it was more. I wish there were like more, basically.
No, I get you. Yeah, I can't speak for what it's like to be at yours. I have no idea what it's like, but I can speak for what it's like to be at 14K, and that feels like I can't really experiment much. So I can't imagine what it's like when, especially when it's your job and you rely on the income of that.
And it's so much harder when, like, obviously Rocket League, despite Fortnite popping and the potential, Rocket League would still be the most lucrative route for me to go at this point, short term.
Oh yeah, at this point,
there's so much money in it for me. For some, because it's
quite.
I like I think the naivety of some sort of companies from countries in Asia, to be honest, that are like, they're very like new to the scene, and they're so hyped to like get involved. They'll kind of I think they're learning along with us, like as creators, so they make like they make errors. They'll pay too much for a few things, like
of course,
and it's so easy
dodgy
to, like,
prices for their items as well.
Yeah, like
on some of them.
But I told my dad, I said I sold something for like $250 that was worth half that, and he was like, how do they make profit buying that from you? I said, oh, they just sell it ridiculously high price as well, so they make profit if they sell. It's just like, I don't know how they make money, to be honest. I don't know how the people that sponsor like companies like Lolga, and I mean Lolga have done so much for me, and they have their flaws like most companies. But I'm so grateful for what they've done for me. But like, I don't get how they make profit. I'd really be interested to see.
No, I really don't either. I swear, I really don't. I actually have no idea.
And it's like a year later, they're still going strong. I mean, I guess they're still throwing money around.
I mean, I'm sure they're not. I doubt if you just looked at. I doubt they're just. I mean, they're keeping Rocket League on their list, so like they must be making.
Yeah.
Or maybe they just have hope.
That's the thing.
I don't know.
Maybe it's just.
But
hope.
They don't just do Rocket League. They do other games. I'm sure they make most of their money from the other games.
But like FIFA, how much are they gonna make from that nowadays? FIFA's kind of dead.
I don't know how FIFA works nowadays. Because back in the day, you could buy. I remember like I used to play FIFA. I used to buy coins, and the market got so fucked at one point. Back in I can't say which FIFA, but at one point I'm gonna guess like 16, maybe 15. No, 16 and 17.
Yeah.
Maybe. I'm gonna say 16, but yeah, I went on to I'll play FIFA on Ultimate Team. I don't know if you know Ultimate Team.
Oh yeah, I had a FIFA 16 Ultimate Team briefly.
Yeah, the marketplace, and you got your coins and stuff. And there was this website, a few websites you could go to, and you can either buy FIFA points or open packs and stuff like that for ridiculous prices. It's almost as bad as $3, like FIFA points.
Yeah.
And then, or you can go to these websites and buy like 1 million coins. I swear to God, at one point 1 million coins was like £2, £2.50. I swear it was ridiculous. No. Honestly, I think it was, or maybe that was like 100,000. But it was a ridiculous like rate anyway. And I remember like just me and my mate. I put so much money into FIFA back in the day. So those websites must have made a killing at that point, which is probably where they made the most of their money. I'm sure Logo were doing that as well. I didn't know them at the time.
They probably were, yeah.
They have to have, yeah. But oh my God, man, unbelievable the amount of money they were making.
It's so
the amount of money you could make, yeah, absolutely crazy. So yeah, I don't know how they make the profit now with Rocket League items, especially.
Especially because like everyone like has a price guide that they look at and they're like, these don't add up. It's great for selling items to them, but like, you can't really justify like spending, I don't know, $100 on a mystery decal, you know?
Is that what they charge?
Like for like the Dissolver, I think on the day it came out was like $100 or something.
Yeah.
And then I
mean, I do get a lot of them
for like hundreds of keys, like, which is mad.
Yeah, I get what you mean, and I do get like I do understand it because just the ease of it. You just go onto the site, you pick what you want, and you buy it. And like that's the reason I sponsor it. If I thought it was bullshit or they were scamming, etc., I wouldn't sponsor it, obviously. But I know they don't scam, and it's not.
That's
It's not
they
bullshit.
have the best intentions. Like they genuinely want to help.
If you're comfortable, maybe like overpaying for ease of access.
Yeah.
And like then by all means like knock yourself out. But I almost said kill yourself.
I heard that. Just kill yourself
out.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean it is what it is. But at the end of the day, like they pay us and they pay me more than YouTube pays me. Like I mean I rate like sponsorships are like how I make money on YouTube, really, more or less.
Yeah, you're kind of in that like middle ground where it's like you're not like there's no hope of money, you know, when you're like 1,000 subs and you realistically make maybe 50 quid in a good month, like overall.
Yeah.
But then like if you're at like a few 100,000 and you're like uploading frequently, you can get by on just ad revenue. You're like in the middle,
crazy that.
Like where sponsorships do like a huge part, whereas for me it's tended to be around 50-50 on a good month between the two, you know?
Right. Yeah.
But yours like 90% sponsorship, you know.
Mine is pretty much all sponsorship. I don't really take into consideration my YouTube income. I honestly think it's like at the moment like 30 quid a month, something like that.
Yeah, it's just like a nice
that might surprise a lot of people. That's the thing. I think that surprises a lot of people who maybe don't do YouTube or they don't understand how it works. Like you really don't make. Some people probably. I'm sure there's a bunch of like kids who look at my channel and think, oh, he's probably like making like a nice part-time wage off that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But nah,
it's the fact that you can go as low as like
nothing.
You can get like 50 pence for 1,000 views. That's brutal. Like
that is brutal. Yeah, that's ridiculous. I don't really help myself with the swearing and all of that. Either, but that's not.
But then,
change,
like when you like. Disregarding all the views on TV and how much I think views and eyes are worth on adverts, when you do take 50 pence 1,000 views at the lowest rate and someone that has 100 million views a month, that's 50 grand at the lowest rate. So like
at the lowest
that's
rate.
A lot. Tell you what is crazy, because as you know, I did my driving theory test yesterday. When they passed,
congratulations, by the way.
Thank you, yeah, guys watching. I passed my theory test. That's cool. And they give you this little booklet, like you're like learning stuff, how to pass your test and that. And guess who's on the front? We got Ali A just on the front of that. I'm like, why are you there? And you go in there, and it's like Ali A is a COD YouTuber watching with all these cars and like
what?
I mean, like imagine getting baited by that. You see this, I rate COD. You open it, you go to his channel, you see Fortnite the whole way down.
Oh my god!
But
like Fortnite dances in real life and shit.
Like an official learning driver's guide. And he's just on the front. It's like
that's crazy.
I was gonna send it to you because I know like you obviously you really rated him back in the day. You find him a bit cringy now, but like you've got to respect the grind to like.
Oh no, I respect him. I
reach
crazy
he makes,
respect
like,
him, man.
Mad.
The way he does it, just the way he dominates every game he does, man. It's honestly incredible, man. He dominated Call of Duty, and now he's dominating Fortnite. It's like he doesn't even try.
It's when I watch Ali A though, like. He always he talks like he's like, today we're gonna be like he needs to like clear his throat. He's so like I don't know. It's like I don't know if he puts it on because it's like his enthusiastic voice is like a croaky voice.
I mean, it works. So he probably doesn't bother. Like he works, so everybody just keeps it going. But I can't. I'm the last one that's gonna start ripping into voices, mate. Trust me. So I'm not gonna go there.
But like, it's that. And
but he is like the #1 like kids channel. Like he really tailors to kids, and I know like your channel, you don't tailor to kids, but like,
I don't tailor
you're child
to kids,
friendly.
No. For the most part, yeah. Like I swear here and there, and to be honest, I should probably cut that out and make it like really geared towards like from a business standpoint. I probably should do that
from a business.
But like I just record and whatever comes out comes out. If I swear, but I don't swear often.
Yeah,
but I don't know.
That's what I mean. Swearing's such a part of my nature. Like, I feel like if I didn't swear, I just seem fake and stupid. I don't know. I personally just can't. I really tried to cut it down because at one point, and now that I've gone back and watched some videos of that, I do realize like it's to hear so much swearing. Although I never really have a problem with it. Like I've never had an issue with people swearing. Like obviously, but I go back and look and I can imagine like it is a bit. Not ugly, but it's like it can make people like a bit uncomfortable. Like, why is he swearing so much? Like, what's the point? Like, there's no need. It sounds stupid. And sometimes there's been one or two YouTubers that I've watched and like, do they need to swear that much? And I'm just like, okay, so I do try and cut it down, but I'm never gonna. I don't think I'm ever gonna stop swearing unless they like took my fucking revenue away from me and said like you need to not swear. I'm not gonna sit here and say like, oh, I'll never sell out. I'll never do that. I would. Like, if it was to make the money, like I would stop swearing. It's not that big of a deal.
Exactly.
But I feel like it's a part of my comedy and sort of just my channel.
Yeah, exactly.
And
I think also it's weird, like the way YouTubers watch has like evolved so much because, like 10 years ago you wouldn't have families sitting down and watching content, but now you actually get parents watching like Fortnite content, for example, with kids, which is it's like weird, like to actually think about that, but people actually like sit in front of this big screen.
It's like TV
and watch content. Yeah, I mean, I love the way it like is. Like I love watching YouTube over TV. I don't watch scheduled TV.
I think anyone does, mate, at this point.
Like,
especially everyone listens to this podcast. I don't think there's a single person who would disagree there. Like,
it's
100%.
It's weird how much it's changed. Like DVDs. When was the last time you put a DVD in and like watched a DVD?
Fuck knows, mate. No idea. I mean, the last time I put in a DVD, mate. Guess what? My mum found the other day.
What?
Like, I've never seen myself as, this is a little tangent, but I've never seen myself as a baby, like in a video.
Snap.
I've only seen photos.
Yeah.
Mate, she's got 8 to 9 like old tapes of me as a mate. I swear to God, like oh my God, the mind fuck was unreal. She paid £100 to convert those tapes into DVDs.
Okay.
I don't know if they were tapes. I think they were something like anyway to convert them into DVDs. Yeah, something like that. I think they were cassettes. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But as soon as she did that, she lost them, and like I almost fucking broke down because I was like, I was so desperate to see that, but then we ended up finding them, so it's all good.
Yeah.
But mate, we put them in the other day, and I was watching it and I was like, that's me. It was 1998, mate, and I was like, oh my God, mate, I swear, my mum was almost crying. I'm there like, don't know what to think. I'm like, holy shit. My cousin comes in, like he obviously, Matt, my cousin, like he's like fucking 10 years old or something like that, and he's like just being a little bitch around me and sort of like all that, and it's just mad, mate. It's absolutely insane.
How old is Matt, your cousin?
He's 29, I think, or maybe 30. He's not 30 yet. I think he's 29.
He's 29.
Yeah.
Wait, so
man.
The
crazy.
We play Fortnite with Matt. That Matt.
Yeah, that Matt.
He's 29.
He's 29, mate. Oh, okay, 28 minimum. He's either 28 or 29.
I like genuinely thought he was like 20.
I mean, yeah, he's young spirited, man. He's like a gamer at heart, but he bosses like he's absolutely ripped. He bosses it in the RAF, and he's doing his like passion, like he's
full on like
instructor and that. But when he is, man, and he's like he's bossing life, but in his chill time, mate, he does nothing more but to like play Fortnite and games. So like, he's just like he's like a kid at heart, but man, I love him.
That's actually I genuinely am so mind blown by that. Cause like
really,
because like, I've played with him like a few times. I've watched him in videos and stuff, and like genuinely like feels like our age, not in like an insulting way.
No.
Like,
but
that's,
I get what you mean.
Wow.
And in that video where I did a crate opening with him,
yeah.
I do look very big compared to him as well. I think it's just the angles we were sat at with the camera.
You were like a little bit closer, and
he was on a much smaller chair as well.
Yeah.
So he looks like he's a little kid next to me. It's actually hilarious.
That's actually like insane. Wow. Yeah.
I would have never thought 20. That's actually mad that you said that. Yeah.
I just kind of like assumed he was a similar age to you because like you get along so well, and he doesn't look 30,
that does make sense.
And he's into like gaming and all that. Like,
yeah,
I don't know. That's wow. That blows my mind. Because like,
yeah, mate,
when you play with like, it's like when you play with someone, like you hear their voice and you make your own little picture up of them.
No,
and,
yeah,
and you picture them as that, like other people we've met online, like old Mario, and you picture them a certain way, and they're just not that way. And it's like,
it's always a mind fuck. It always fucks with me, man.
Because when you hear just the voice, you can't help but put some sort of face to it based on.
Oh yeah, I create a whole image,
pitch,
like
accent,
I had
whatever.
I had Mario like perfectly like sculpted,
and we had the same image. We had the same image. So
yeah,
the guys watching, if you don't know, like we played with this guy. He approached me in 2016, and he's where is he from? Is he from Serbia?
Serbia.
Yeah, and he's got this like accent, and Max and I both pictured him as this guy with the same build, same skin tone. Max messaged me one day saying, "Do you want to see a picture of Mario?" I was like, "Yes," and it was totally different, totally different.
I couldn't believe my eyes. Like I couldn't believe
because obviously I know what I look like, I know what you look like. I feel like if someone like spoke to us, they'd imagine us to look similar-ish to how we look. Possibly not.
You'd expect so, but probably not.
Like it's crazy how your mind, like you picture something and it's like, but then on the other hand, you hear someone's voice, you see their face, it's like, oh, they look just like I pictured them.
Yeah, no, there is instances of that as well.
Did you see? You know, Dakota's obviously big, massive Fortnite YouTuber and that.
Don't know what he looks like.
Dude, oh my gosh, you need to Google this right now. He did a face reveal for like 1 million subs. His face does not match the voice.
Wait, okay, before I look, I'm gonna guess.
Okay,
I've got the wait. But when you like get put on the spot like that, you think you have an image of him, but then I'm like, do I?
Well, like
I did.
Because he's such a chill guy. His voice is chill. You know what I mean?
White and skinny.
One of them. Okay. See, that's what I thought. I pictured that.
Yeah, white, skinny. I'm trying to think of his voice. I need to hear his voice.
It's like really mellow. You could probably fall asleep to it. You know what I mean? He'd be great at ASMR.
Not bad looking, but not great. Sort of like, I can't think of his hair in that, but I've got a picture. I don't know. I know what I'm expecting. I know what I'm expecting. Yeah. Let me see. So what's his second name? Oh wait, no, I'll just put Dakota's face reveal.
Yeah. Seeing his face speak with his voice.
What?
You know?
That's fucking insane.
He's like,
No.
Literally, what? I know. I expected him to.
No. I mean, not no. He doesn't look like. He looks. Yeah.
I think you're right. Like the kind of not ugly, not like. But like,
he's not ugly.
I'm gonna
put a model, but
I want to put a picture in the Discord for you to have a look real quick. This is what I expected him to look like. So like,
dude,
you know, there's honestly what I expected him to look like. You know the Rocket League YouTuber Floomp.
Yeah,
I expected him to look like that.
Yeah, no, that's
like
very close to what I expected as well.
Like a little round face and his beard and glasses, and seeing that face talk with his same exact voice really surprised me.
I need to see that. Not now, because obviously, but I do need to see that after this. Remind me to look at that after this.
Oh,
I need to hear him talk
weird.
with that face.
Exactly. It just doesn't. It didn't line up. Like I genuinely I expected him to be what you said.
Wow.
And it's just not that. And he's also older than I thought. I mean, he looks old. I don't know if he actually is, but he looks older.
How old is he?
I don't know, but to me, he looks like early 30s, late 20s. I just expected him to be like early 20s. You know? I don't know.
Yeah, no. He said, yeah. I remember. Wait, you said he's at early 30s?
That's what he looks to me, anyway. I don't know.
Oh, do you know how old he is?
I don't.
I think he said like he's nearing on. This is probably wrong, but I think he said he's nearing on 40. I think I heard that in a video.
He's 31. So yeah, he is early
31.
30s.
Okay,
and that's what he looks like. But I expected him to be like 10 years younger or whatever.
Oh mate, absolutely insane.
Weird,
absolutely
weird
crazy
stuff. Oh, it's mad. Crazy.
What was I gonna? There was. Oh yeah, no, I was gonna say, mate, what fucked with me back in the day was Ali A's face reveal.
Really?
Oh my life, mate. I used to watch him like religiously, when I was a kid. Like before his name was even Ali A, he used to have a channel. He used to be called I don't know how to pronounce it, but Matrix, something like that. Matrix with an O in it.
Yeah.
And and yeah, mate, he never used to do face cam. He used to do his COD videos and like class setups and that, and I used to copy his guns and stuff.
Yeah.
Way back in the day. It's actually crazy how big he is now, and when I used to start watching it was actually insane.
Yeah.
And then I remember he was like, I can't remember what milestone it was when he did that face reveal.
Yeah.
But he did a face reveal for some sort of milestone. And I remember I clicked on it, and when I saw his face, mate, keep in mind, mate, that little me, mate, like that was the first kind of like head fuck of a face reveal I've ever experienced. And I was like, wow, man, like wow, like, I couldn't believe my eyes, man.
Yeah.
It's insane.
It's so weird how that works. Like, you just come up with your own little like images. But like going back to like what brought this all up, when you were like. When you saw those like videos of you as a baby, like I've always wanted to see that, but the earliest I think video record of me has been, I swear it was like videos I filmed like when I was like 8, 9. There's pictures of me as a baby.
That's what I thought.
There's no videos
until now.
I've always wanted to see little me just crawling around and look at me saying that crawler is me.
Fuck, mate, you wouldn't. I swear to God, like your mind starts going weird when you're watching it. Have you seen the butterfly effect?
No, I haven't, no.
Alright, just like, I'm not going to go too much into it, but anyone here who's seen the butterfly effect, you'll know what I mean. Like, you know when he's watching, like, because basically the idea of the butterfly effect is when he looks at things that is...
Small things, like...
Yeah, like, I don't want to give any spoilers, but this is just the idea of the film. When he looks at, like, an image of him when he was a kid or anything that relates to the past, he sort of teleports back into the past and he's able to change the past and it changes his life in the present, because obviously the butterfly effect, etc. And, there's one point in the film where he's looking at a baby video of himself, and he teleports back into it as a baby, and mate, I thought I was watching it. I was like fucking holding my mum. I was like, I'm about to go through the fucking screen. Like, I'm about to go back in time, mate. And she was like, I didn't actually say it to her, obviously, but I was sat there. My mind was like going crazy, and I was thinking to myself, like, holy fuck, man, like, this is a weird feeling, and it's not a feeling I know how to describe, man.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Because your brain probably is looking at it, it's like, oh shit, that's me, and it's never seen me. I've seen myself in pictures, man, but when you see yourself moving, making noises or crying,
that's what I really would love to see.
Oh my God, you go fuzzy, mate. It's weird. It's strange.
And that's what I'm excited to do for like children of the future. Like my children, they're gonna have a great recollection of their like.
Oh mate, like my baby. Yeah.
Because I can't imagine what that's like to see yourself moving and crying, and because that's you, but you're totally not aware of what's going on. But that's somewhere. That's you.
Somewhere in your brain, somewhere deep down, it probably like it remembers.
Do you think it connects like that? Like you're saying?
I mean, it has to. Your brain was there the whole time. You know what I mean? It wasn't anywhere near as developed as it was now. But your brain was experiencing that. Like I was looking at things like
and
it's in my subconscious somewhere in my memory. Yeah. So it's somewhere, not anywhere that I could pull out, but it's somewhere.
What is your earliest memory?
Oh man. Off the top of my head,
it's hard because obviously you were influenced by like pictures and stuff. You might be like, I remember that when you don't, but like, yeah, what is your?
When I was about 6-7 years old, I smacked my dad in the shin with a baseball bat by accident, and that fractured his shin. And I remember like, he was laying in bed, he was asleep, and he had his obviously legs under the cover and that. And I was like, little me, just like he always kept the baseball bat under his bed.
Fair enough.
And I picked it up, like it's like heavy baseball bat, mate. And I was like. I was just swinging, mate. I was like trying to swing it, but it was too heavy for me. So I finally got it above me like that, and I slammed it on the bed, and his shin was there, and I didn't realise, and he was asleep. And oh my God, mate, I've never seen my dad in so much pain.
Oh my God, the vulnerability.
God, the vulnerability. Yeah, mate, can you imagine waking up to that?
Oh,
do you know? Have you felt shin pain, mate?
Yeah,
like when you get banged. Yeah. Oh, mate, it ain't good. It ain't good, mate.
Not to that extent, like baseball bat.
Yeah, no, neither, not to that extent. But holy fuck, dude.
That must have been the worst. So wait, so you're saying like your first? Like, I mean, obviously that's something you remember, but surely your first memory is not when you're 6. Surely.
No. I swear, if I sat here for a while and like thought about it, I'm sure I could think of earlier.
Yeah.
100%. But that's just the first thing that came to my head.
So I always used to say like my first memory was my first birthday, but I got my head mixed up. It's actually my second birthday, because I had this like
I remember your.
I remember I had this like this you know the caterpillar cakes in Tesco. I had one of those for my birthday, and I remember it. But I always thought that was my first birthday. But it wasn't until I was shown a picture of my first birthday that I realised it wasn't, because my birthday cake was a cupcake with a candle in it.
Hang about, let's all just slow down a tiny
But
bit, mate.
I remember
You're
that was
saying
my first memory. Yeah, my second birthday.
When you were 2?
Yeah.
Mate, no. When I said I remember, like, I'm talking about like 5, probably.
That's mad. See, like, I remember my memory after that.
Mate,
I think I was
sure, mate?
a positive. And then I remember after
it's not
that,
false memories or anything.
I was 3 years old, and I went on a picnic with my preschool, and it was the first time I ever tried chocolate spread sandwiches. Hated it, despised it. But now I rate chocolate spread. But like, yeah, like. And I've still got the bear I took with me, because it was a teddy bear's picnic, super cute. He's down there on the floor right now, and I just like, you know, when memories stick. I remember where we went for this picnic, sat down. Don't know why I had chocolate spread sandwiches if I didn't like them. Tried it and just despised it. It was the worst.
Wait, what? Now that you've said that, you've actually got me thinking of a lot earlier. But when was what age do you join a preschool or nursery? Is it 4?
Reception, like actual school.
No, not reception. No, the one before.
Yeah, reception's 4, so preschool's like 2 or 3.
Oh, okay, I do remember 2 or 3.
Yeah, if you can remember, like, preschool moments.
Yeah, no, I do. I remember quite a bit from preschool. Fuck me, man. Wow, this is kind of trippy, mate. I actually do remember what I was like when
exactly, I was 2 or 3. That's the thing. Like, and it's obviously like you can be influenced by like pictures and
I
that.
didn't think about that. I thought like 5, 6 was the earliest I could ever remember. I thought anything before that was insane.
Tap into it. I reckon if like you had some scientist with like a rod in your brain, you could go back to the womb days, but I don't know.
The womb days, just absolutely just cocked in the womb. Like.
Yeah.
I remember playing there was this computer game back in the day, because obviously games weren't anywhere near as big back in the day.
Is that where this is going?
No, when I was, I think I was like 2 or 3, something like that. And I don't know if anyone knows a game called Red Ace Squadron. I don't know when that was released, man. I need to quickly just check Red Ace Squadron. I might be tripping.
Gaming from the womb.
2001, yes. I was 3 years old when that came out. Dude, that game was unreal. That was my favourite game, like, at that age anyway.
Yeah.
And I remember in preschool, I mean, this confirms it. This confirms that this memory's not fake, because if that was anywhere later than 2001, this couldn't be possible. So like,
it'd have to be in preschool, yeah.
So that is, because sometimes I know you hear a lot about, like, you could honestly remember like fake memories, like your brain could do that.
You can remember, you can remember what someone told you happened. Like if someone tells you the story of when you were like 1 year old, you can then later on remember it as a memory.
But it's completely false.
Yeah.
Like, that does happen. So I was thinking like maybe that's the case, but that's just confirmed it for me. Like, that release, I remember it releasing, so that's actually insane. So I actually rate that.
So you were gaming at 3 years old, this game?
Yeah, mate. And my dad, I was only allowed to game on Mondays and Wednesdays, because my dad was like, nah, this ain't great. Like, gaming ain't great, basically. Obviously,
back then there was no career in it either.
As the mentality was, yeah. What's that, sorry?
Like, back then there was like next to no career in gaming either. Like,
oh yeah,
now there's an argument to be made, but back then, Red Ace Squadron or whatever it's called.
I ain't getting a Red Ace Squadron Pro. I'm not a Red Ace Squadron ninja. Like, it's not happening. But I used to play Red Ace Squadron. It's like this really basic plane game where you shoot down planes and you have like these missions and stuff like that. And I remember
you were doing that at 3, the shooter games.
Oh, mate, I was playing Grand Theft Auto at like 6 or some shit. I can't remember what age. Like, I was bossing the games. Like, that's one thing that my parents never actually cared about.
Yeah.
And I remember actually before I bought Grand Theft Auto for the first time, I remember having to call my dad. I was with my mum.
Yeah.
She was like, "Well, it's up to your dad." Like, I don't know. I remember being in the shop. I actually remember standing there looking at the game, trying to buy it.
Did they sell it to you in the shop?
With my mum, mate. I swear to God, yeah. Not to me. Like, I went with my mum.
So they'd have to sell it to you. Okay.
Yeah,
but they definitely knew it was for you. Like,
mate, I was in front of the camera. Not the camera, in front of the counter, asking my dad on the phone, like, "You sure? Can I buy it like that?" So it wasn't one of those mainstream shops. It was a really like second-hand sort of shop.
Or something.
And it was just like really just like fat guy who didn't give a fuck about life behind the counter. So he probably would have sold it to me if I went in on my own. But I remember calling my dad and like he was like, "Yeah, sure, like as long as you don't sort of like reenact any of that shit in real life."
That's the thing. Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know. I wonder if that ever fucked me up.
But I
wonder if that actually played a part, if in anything.
If you're gaming like Grand Theft Auto at 6 years old, there just are things in the game that are like that go over your head. You don't think of it as a reality or anything like that. You don't
really, like, man. I swear, I feel fine. Like, I don't feel like it's
just a game. Like I was like a lot later playing shooter games than that, because obviously like it's not that my parents like didn't like disallowed it. I just didn't have the guts to play it knowing that my parents might find out, like at my house. Like I'd play at a mate's house. You know, you'd have that weekend mate that you'd go round and like play all those games you couldn't play. I mean, you were probably that mate that people went to, but but like I'd go around, but like it's then kind of when you're like 30, it was probably like 12, 13, I'd like explain to my parents, like, obviously, like, I don't play Call of Duty for like the gore or whatever. I play it for the excitement of hitting your shots. Like, and I know it's not reality, and I'm not gonna bring that to my own life. It is just fun to like not kill people literally, but just fun to win. And like that's the kind of angle I took. They're like, yeah, you know, fair enough, sort of thing.
I mean, I get what you mean. Yeah, with games, I don't feel like that's the case. I feel like you're right, but there's definitely a few things that I saw when I was a kid that definitely fucked me up a bit.
Oh yeah,
100%. Not in games, but
movies,
in just like in films. And there was one time, dude, when I think it was me and my it might have been Dylan. I can't remember. Like me and one of my old like mates, like one of my like best friends when I was a kid. Yeah, the OGs. I can't remember who it was. Someone. We was at the computer. We were young, man. I can't remember the age. And we stumbled onto this site. There was this like site going around called bestscore.com.
Oh god.
Oh mate. Oh man. Oh, there's some shit on that site that I wish I never saw, mate. And it's like, don't want to get into details because it's just fucked up. And like, we were just kids. We were curious. We came across the site. We couldn't believe that this kind of stuff was on the internet.
Exactly.
And now, if I ever came across it, I honestly like. I'm weaker than I was when I was a kid now. Like, if I see those videos on Facebook where it's like uncover video and it's like, oh, this girl's beating her dog or something, I just don't watch it. I don't like how it makes me feel.
It's like that when you and I were at like McDonald's with a load of other people, and whoever it was showing us that Twitter page with the messed up videos.
Oh, that was
like,
was that Scares?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, and
it was.
And like just people
Fucking
genuinely
hell,
dying,
mate.
like on video. It's like, and like, do you remember it was like this a few years ago? This thing going around. I can't believe I've seen like a few images from it and like videos and clips, because you can't help but look. But it's the kind of videos that genuinely make you feel sick, because you kind of imagine what it'd be like to feel that. It was the Pain Olympics. You ever heard of the Pain Olympics?
Seen it. Oh, I've seen it. Don't even want to.
Woo! No, that is not okay.
Oh, mate. That's not alright. That's not alright. Thanks for bringing that back, lad.
That's probably one of those things you forgot existed for years, and now it's back.
Oh, we're bad. We're bad influences on our audience, mate. Don't
look that up. Yeah, we need to put like a disclaimer on this.
Don't watch the Pain Olympics, man.
Unless you want to see what we're talking about. Educate yourself.
They will. That's the thing. They will. So like, what can you do? I would have if I was your age. I was watching. I'm just saying, don't do it. But I'm just saying, I would have. Like, that's what I mean. When I was young, mate, curiosity was over everything. Like, I didn't.
It's how you learn.
I didn't think about. Like, now I see, like, for example, there's those videos, and like you can find videos whenever. Like, you can, or even if you're scrolling on Facebook, man, you can really see some fucked up shit. There was beheadings on Facebook and shit at some point. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, and the Reddit 50/50 challenge. That's another. I've seen slow motion beheadings. Like,
I never did that challenge, but like I've seen that stuff, and now I swear I just avoid it at all costs, because I know it. I don't know what effect it has on me, but I know it's not good, and there's no point in watching it. All it's going to do is shit on my day, get into my mind, and it's going to just play with my mind for a bit. And although it won't affect me, I'm not going to sit there crying or anything, or get too upset. It's just disturbing, and there's no need to see it. There's literally no point in seeing it. But as a kid, I wanted to see it. I was like, this is like interesting. I'm curious. What's going to happen? And I remember we were looking at it. We were both hating it, but we were like, fucking hell.
Can't look away.
Man. And I'm sure that fucked me a bit. Like, that had to have fucked me up a bit. I don't know what it's done or how it's done it, but you should not be seeing those things at like 7 years old.
Yeah.
Like, you should not.
Exactly. I think
man.
there is like the whole desensitized argument where if you do all that stuff when you're like younger, then but like there is like you yourself, you're not going to play a game at 7 and then go out and shoot someone at 17 because of that game. You have to be there has to be something wrong psychologically for you to take that into the real world. I think to not understand.
I think you've already got to be a bit fucked.
Like, exactly. Like, people that have the argument, like, the whole moral panic situation about shooter games increasing gun crime, but then there is a simple argument, just give them the game, just take away the gun. Like, there's the whole gun thing in America. Like, just take away the damn gun.
Oh, God, man. The gun
and it's crazy how, like, regarding that, how divided America is, that, like, states are, like, separate countries in some aspects. Like, there's, like, Texas versus New York. I mean, I don't know if that's the most stark comparison, but Texas and somewhere is so different, because
Texas is different to every state. I'm pretty sure Texas is like.
I mean, that's the only state I've been to, and I loved it. But like, I wasn't.
You've been to Texas? That's sick.
Yeah, I wasn't in like the deep south. I went to a rodeo though. That was sick.
What? I'd love to go to the States, man.
Dude, there was one point in the rodeo they invited loads of kids into the ring, and I was like, I'm doing this. I'm getting in there. And
did you get in?
Yeah, I went in, and if they would release this lamb with a ribbon tied around its tail, and the first kid to get the ribbon won this like authentic pair of cowboy boots, and I was like, okay,
don't tell me you got it.
I'm winning this bad boy. And my auntie tells me they do this trick. They line up all these kids in the ring, and they face this like presenter who tells you the rules. And then basically, they make it look like this lamb is going to come out of the entrance behind the presenter, so all the kids are looking at it. My auntie, she'd been there before, and she said, right, Matt, that's a trick. They release it behind you all. So when he says go, turn around. dart it, go the other way.
No way.
And
as
soon as they like release, the kids all run towards the presenter. I turn the other way and the lamb is released. And I'm the first one to this lamb. I do a full length dive and I'm fingertips from the ribbon and I hit the mud and miss.
No.
And I'm the first. I was the first
so
there.
upset.
Yeah, and then
so upset.
and like I got up straight away because I wanted to win this, and there was an old video clip. I don't know where it is. And then there's a clip of like there's like all the kids running to it, and then there's one kid darting from behind across the screen of the video, and that's me running from where I tried to get it first time. And this little blonde kid got the boots, and I was so upset. I missed it. I was like, I had the advantage. I was first to it because I knew where it's coming from, and I dived and missed.
That must have been heartbreaking, dude. I'm heartbroken just hearing that story. Like, that's genuinely upset me. I don't know why you told me that.
like, just knowing, like, having such an advantage, just turning around, being in front of all the kids. They don't know where this lamb is at, and I know. I see that.
I was rooting for you then.
It probably locked eyes with me. It's like, you're not getting this ribbon, mate.
It wasn't meant to be.
It's not you. It's not you. And
imagine, and this goes back to the butterfly effect. How different would your life be now if you got?
I got that. I get the cowboy boots. I moved to America, become a cowboy.
Yeah, mate. YouTube never happened. You're fucking riding cows and shit.
All because I made the grab. I'm a proper country bumpkin by this point.
Oh my god.
We never meet. This podcast doesn't exist.
Oh yeah, we never meet. Yeah, the podcast never.
All because I grabbed that. I mean, realistically, you think to yourself, that's not going to happen if I grab a ribbon. Like, I'll probably just at this point have some old cowboy boots. But like, it could happen. It could.
I mean, yeah, but that's the whole thing about the butterfly effect, man. Like, little things, they just have a domino effect and they don't stop.
Weird.
So like, you know, I mean, I don't need to go into detail. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
It's something as simple as on the way to school you trip up, or maybe you don't trip up.
Yeah.
It sounds like nothing. You're still going to school at the end of the day, but that's going to change your mindset, what you're thinking about.
Exactly.
That's going to spiral into what ideas you come up with or something. Maybe the conversations you have will be different, which
like,
leads to different relationships or different relationships.
I won those cowboy boots. Then 2 years later, I need to go to a specialist shop to get them cleaned. I wouldn't have gone to that shop had I not won. I get hit by a bus on the way to that shop.
Anything.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. But even if you didn't, like those hours where you wouldn't be going to the shop, you would be doing something else, and it just gets bigger and bigger. That's why they say like a butterfly flapping its wings somewhere, I can't remember where, would like create a hurricane, a tornado or something, or tsunami
like
even.
It affects like
on the other side of the world.
It affects an animal affects another animal, something happens.
Yeah, and then like that's why. But you really should watch the film. And anyone who hasn't seen the film, watch it because it's an incredible film. It really is an amazing film.
I like films like that make you think. Like,
yeah, it really makes you think, dude. It's a real mindfuck. I'll probably end up watching it again, actually. There's 3 of them. I've only seen the first one, but it's definitely a must-watch, dude. Like, it's a head fuck, man.
Yeah.
Oh, mate.
It's weird to
the butterfly
like,
effect trips me out, dude.
Oh, dude.
It trips me out. And I hate thinking back on, like, what would have happened if I did this differently, or if
That's the thing, yeah. I think that's also why I try and have no real regrets. Like, you say, I regret not going to the gym, whatever. But, like, everything, because something so small can potentially, like most likely not, but can potentially have such an impact. If you look at your life in the immediate moment, I think you're happy, you can just forget any regrets because everything kind of got you to where you are, you know?
You say, and you say most likely not, but I disagree with that. I feel like any little change changes everything no matter what, really.
But like, I mean, like cases, the very minute changes, like, yes, it has a change to your mindset, but like, realistically, if you do fall over, for instance, like to use that as an example, it might ruin you for like a day, like you might cut yourself, but for the most part, I would think anyway, you might disagree, that you would still have a similar outcome to that day.
Nah, see, I disagree completely, man. Because if you fall over, mate, it's not the car, it's not the falling over, but it's just it's from that point onwards, everything is different.
Literally, like everything's changed.
Everything you think of is different. Nothing will be the same that day as it would be if you didn't fall over. That's what I mean. In my opinion,
I agree with you
on
that.
You'll still go to the same classes, but the conversations you have will definitely be different. That's without a doubt, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think
like little things like that. Everything
say, like,
changes,
if you fall
and it
over,
only gets bigger and bigger. It's like a snowball.
Yeah,
like going down a fucking mountain or some shit. You know, it just gets bigger and bigger. It changes everything. So I honestly think every minute change will have a significant effect on, like, if that was the case, if you could go back and change things.
I would say, like, if you say, to take the whole falling over thing, if you fell over and that took out 5 minutes of your day. Like, if you were originally, like, destined to be doing something at 1 p.m, you then wouldn't be doing that at 1 p.m. Like, you might be doing that at 1:05 p.m, you might never do it at all because of what happened. Like, I agree with that.
Yeah.
But, to make the life-changing decisions, I think it's less likely. But, like, it could. Like, because that 5 minutes could lead to something else the next day, which leads to 5 minutes, which leads to, like, your life being totally different.
I know what you mean. And I feel like the life-changing decisions, like, it won't, you'll still go about your day, and, like, at the end of the day, you'll still come home and make a video, like, if I fall over, if I get hit by a bus, like...
Make a video saying, I fell over.
Maybe not if I get hit by a bus, but... Yeah, exactly, but that's... It will just change everything, and it will just all spiral off. You'll still do the same thing, but in years and years, in 10, 20 years' time, I think if you looked at yourself in 20 years' time, from if you fell over to 20 years' time, if you didn't fall over back when you were 10 years old, or maybe not 10, like 15 or something like that,
you think that'd be very different?
I think there would be a very big difference. Yeah, that's just, I don't know if that's true or not. Obviously,
that's something really interesting. Anyway, I'd like to believe that. Like,
I do believe it. I honestly really do.
I suppose everything does build up. Like, literally anything you decide to do now that you think about it changes the course of what your life could have been.
Yeah, exactly.
But to the extent at which it changed your life, obviously that's unmeasurable. It'd be cool if it was, but you'd need like a time machine and to actually alter the past to do that, which many movies dabble with. But like the Butterfly Effect, I assume. But yeah,
Butterfly Effect does it really well, man. Yeah, time travel's always an interesting concept if they get it right. Like, sometimes it could be shit and like but the Butterfly Effect's good, man. It's definitely a must watch.
Have you heard the theory of like, I can't remember his name. I think his name is Brian. Maybe this like scientist or whatever. It might not be Brian, but he is basically saying like the actual possibility of time travel, but not in the way we think of it. We think of it like hopping in a time machine, going back, but like it's like it was something to do with like the speed of light, where basically if you go faster than the speed of light, for the guy traveling the time, it's been like less time for him, but when he stops, it'll be like it more time will have passed for everyone else, but less time for him personally. So you're essentially traveling through time, but like not the way we would think of it. That's a really bad explanation.
What's it called? Relativity, time relativity, space
what's his
relativity.
Name? Let me check. Scientist.
Have you seen the film Interstellar, dude?
No,
wait,
I know it's your. Oh, it's Brian Cox. It was Brian.
Let me have a look. And also, mate, I'm just gonna say, I don't know if it's my earphones or if it's your mic, but there's a weird like sort of static thing going on. So just in case if the podcast can't hear it, it's fine.
Yeah.
But I'm just thinking maybe is that like. If you just check your Audacity and see if there's anything like different.
No, it's all how it is.
Okay, yeah, it might just be in my hearing or the Discord or something. Then should be fine.
Yeah, hopefully, yeah, because we've got like 2 recordings of my voice and all that. But yeah,
anyway.
It's this guy.
No, I've seen it. Brian Cox. That's where the guy. I've just looked at Brian Cox. Yeah, I've seen that video where that guy sat in the chair with the light,
and he's like moving, and then that was the kind of thing. Yeah, and like that's crazy. Like no kid's gonna get hyped over like being 5 minutes younger than everyone else for doing like that, but like it's an interesting like concept, you know. No, but mate, it's a fascinating concept. It honestly like that's like the most interesting shit for me. I love that shit, man. Just the fact that and when I saw Interstellar is another must. Like you said, it's one of my favorite films of all time. And it probably is my all-time favourite. Like I think you have labelled it as that before in videos or podcasts.
Yeah, I don't know. I saw A Bronx Tale recently, and I absolutely love that film. But for like provoking thought and like making you think and that kind of stuff, like the Butterfly Effect is sick and all, but Interstellar is on another level, mate. Unreal, man. Like I don't even want to talk about it because
you want it to
anything I say will ruin things. But anyone who's listening, if you haven't seen Interstellar and you like watching films or you like that kind of shit, like films that make you think or that just fuck with your head, Interstellar I can't recommend it enough. And if anyone's listening to this and they haven't seen it and you're gonna go watch it and then like hit me up on Twitter or in the comments or something and let me know what you think, because like damn man, that is a film.
Yeah,
that is a film, mate.
I think I think that's one thing that like talking about like school that does kind of wrong with science, because you're so forced to learn a syllabus. Science is so fascinating, but not the way school does it. Like,
school ruins science.
Like
for me,
in
man.
free time, it's the same with history as well. History can be more interesting at school, but history, geography, like documentaries, I would watch them in my spare time. But school, like I think it taints like people's opinion of like those kind of subjects. Like I'd happily watch. Like I watched a documentary about like the Nazis once, and I really enjoyed it. But like, just the way school does things, like the theory, like written down, and like, it's just like for instance, like chemistry,
school,
like chemical equations and all that. That ruins science for people. But like space time and all that, that's so fascinating to watch.
Yeah, mate. I don't remember ever learning about that. Actually,
I don't think we really did. Like that whole time travel thing.
Why? We learn about the most boring shit, but like nothing that sparks like our imaginations, man. That's what I mean. School just like numbs. Oh mate, I've always fucking hated school, honestly, and I swear, like things like, and it's crazy when you think of school. It's crazy how important the teacher is, Like, if you have a bad teacher, that can literally kill your grade.
Pretty
but
much,
if you have a good teacher, it can make your grade.
It can also, like...
Big example. Yeah, Mr. Henry.
I knew Mr. Henry was coming up.
Mate, I'm fascinated by history, yeah? I love history.
I think you're weird like not to be, like, interested in what happened
exactly.
in
If
the
you're not,
past.
then it's so important to learn about history. And I really don't know much about history because Mr. Henry's just fucked it for me, basically. But I'm slowly, getting out of that. He's, the fucking his.
If you guys want to see a rant about Mr. Henry, go check out Max's podcast with Drew on his channel.
Do I talk about him in that one as well?
Quite a bit.
Oh,
you tell Drew to stop you, and then you go on this rant about Mr. Henry. It's great.
I need to go listen to that again.
I watched it a few times. Great.
I need to go hear that. I need to go hear his podcast back, man. I'm really interested to see my mindset back in those days.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's probably more positive than it is now, which is actually kind of mad. But yeah, mate, I don't want to go too much into it. And like I said, stop me if I keep going. But like, like I said to Drew.
Yep.
But mate, So for just a tiny bit of context, I really don't want to go too much into this.
Okay.
Tiny bit of context, like I said, stop me if it gets too much.
Okay.
Mr. Henry
and that's
is
enough
this
about
teacher.
Mr. Henry.
I swear to God, I knew that was coming. Oh my God.
All right, anyway.
But just no. But I need to say because it actually relates to like what a lot of kids probably experience now in school.
Yeah.
But I had Mr. Henry as a teacher, most boring. Fucking oh my God, he hated me from the get-go and I hated him from the get-go and we hated each other and he'd send me out of class for like the smallest things.
Did he hate you from the get-go? Like the get-go?
Okay, alright. He hated me because I was a dick from the get-go. But I was a kid, man. Like, come on, like give me a break. So he hated me from the get-go of me being a dick, let's just say that.
Okay.
He bragged Jelly Babies the first time we ever saw him. We started calling him a paedophile and shit, and ever since then it all went downhill. But so we always hated each other and there was this weird like uneasy relationship. He found every reason to sort of like give me detention. I used to get detention from him like every week. And we hated each other, and because of that I hated history, and that sort of like tarnished history for me. So like every time I thought about history or learning about history or anything, I'm like, all I thought about was boring, anger, rage, just unhealthy relationships with teachers. But then, do you remember Mr. Woods, the fat one, the sort of camp one? Did you ever have him?
No,
Fat
okay,
camp.
I know. No, the guy who did trampolining.
I
had him like once or twice. Yeah.
Okay, so he was my teacher for a few months, and he loved me, and I loved him. And for those few months, mate, I swear to God, if I had him as my teacher from the start to the GCSE, I know I would have passed his history.
Yeah.
I would have got a C, B, or A.
What did you get?
100 million%
in history?
An E. I didn't do anything, mate. And in the exam, to be fair, I was going to get an E anyway, so I can't chat shit. But in the exam, I was ridiculously ill, and I was so close to not turning up. But you can't not turn up.
Yeah, it's
so
hard.
I had to go, and I was there, and I was shaking. I had like a cold sweat in the fucking exam room. It was bad.
Yeah.
So I mean, if any exam I wanted that in, it was history because I was gonna bottle it anyway. But like, it wasn't great. But like, what I mean is like, teachers really, and that's why I hate, mate, my uni, man. And I don't want to start ripping
Here
into
we
like.
go. I'm ready.
No, but mate, like it's important, man, because when I'm in uni, and I was never gonna stick at uni anyway, so it's not. I didn't leave because of that. But holy fuck, mate, the lack of passion, I should say.
Okay.
From some of those professors, dude, and it plays such a big part in how much students learn or how much they're willing to learn.
Yeah.
And I really think teachers should all be like, and I guess it's hard because they don't get paid enough and all that.
How old was your like lecturer, the one who really lacked in the passion? Was he old?
I think he was 30 something. No, not old at all, man. His name was Marco.
Yeah, because I can imagine if you've done the same material for 40 years, it's hard to sound motivated. But
you have to, man. Like, you've got the future of the fucking, like, you've got the young generation, mate, to
you shape their minds, basically. Yeah,
you do, mate. You do, and Mr. Henry wasn't the only depressing teacher, and I'm not blaming my grades on these teachers at all. Like, I kind of am, but
it's a contributing factor.
I was a misfit in school, regardless. I was gonna bottle it all, regardless. I know that for a fact.
Yeah,
but it did not help that I hated like. I liked a lot of my teachers. Mr. Kilpatrick, for example, in business, he was so passionate about his classes. I absolutely loved him. He was a legend.
Me that he doesn't own a business in some regard.
Yeah, it really does. Yeah, I got a B in that class, dude. If I had Mr. Henry teaching me business studies, 100% would not have got a C. I would have got like a D maybe, or I doubt an E, but like a D.
Yeah.
Or maybe a C, maybe because business isn't really that hard. But
I
wouldn't have got a B, mate. Like I put everything in to get that B, and I thought I was going to get an A, and I was really surprised that I got a B. But it just goes to show, mate, teachers have such a big responsibility, and it makes me angry thinking back on it and how many of them just lack the passion and lack the interest.
Like, that's why I used to want to be, like, before YouTube looked before YouTube looked like possible, I was thinking to myself, I would kind of really like to be like a like a not a high school teacher, but like a primary school teacher.
Yeah,
like
same.
I'd love to like first of all like I'm intelligent, so I can teach a round like of like if I had to teach a year 2 class art, I could teach them brush strokes and that. You know what I mean? Don't come at me with like the color wheel, but you know anything else I'm good with. Like but like I'd love the idea of like getting people passionate about what they're learning, because some things can be pretty much everything can be so interesting when you present it in such a way. And like I'd really love the idea of making someone excited to learn about things like even maths,
being the teacher that everyone loves,
even maths. Like because there's nothing better than like having a maths problem and figuring it out and knowing how it works and the ins and outs of that maths problem.
Oh man!
But for A-level maths, my teacher just said, "Hey, just learn it. I've got to go for a meeting. Teach yourself." And I got a C in AS level maths.
Had that a few times in GCSE,
and I didn't like it. Like it sucked for me.
It does suck, mate. And I've looked back on it, and none of my maths teachers were passionate. Mrs. Mosley or Mowgli, do you remember her? Long hair, looks kind of weird, but like she was sound. She was super nice and all. But other than that, mate, can you think about the maths teachers back in school, mate? They were all just fucking bland, mate.
They were either like interesting but not very good, or like smart but boring. You know,
I just remember boring, to be honest. But I mean, we probably had different experiences. Yeah. That's probably my perception of the fucking class in general. But I could have I got a C in maths, and I was actually like all right at maths. Yeah. Like getting a C in GCSE, people wouldn't class that as being all right, but to what because I was in the 3rd set, so compared to my class, I was actually all right.
Yeah.
So obviously everyone else was sort of like struggling to get a C, and I always knew I was probably going to get a C. Yeah. And I did foundation paper, so if I didn't get a C, like that would be shocking. Like foundation's ridiculously easy anyway.
Yeah.
And I remember my maths teacher's like my maths teacher at the time, she really loved me, and she really wanted me to do well, and she like kept pushing me in that.
Who was
that really like
who was that?
Mrs. Woods, I think her name was. Miss
I liked
Woods.
her, yeah.
Yeah, I really like her. She could be a bitch. Don't get me wrong. She could be super strict if she wanted to. And
yeah.
I remember one time she gave do you remember Patrick?
Yeah.
One of my mates, Patrick, she gave him a detention because he refused to stand up in front of the class and like read out his answers, even though he had the right answers to that, but he had a boner at the time, so he couldn't stand up in front of the class. And obviously he couldn't say that to her, so he took a detention, mate, just because he didn't want to stand up.
Wow.
I don't blame him. I would have took exclusion over that shit.
Imagine being cool enough and like confident enough to say to the teacher straight up, "Get up. I can't. I have a boner. What are you gonna do about it?"
Mate, much of the confidence just getting up with the boner. Brutal. But it was Patrick, mate. And Patrick was never doing that. Like, let's be honest.
Subtle comments like, God. "Yeah, maths excites me. Get over it."
Yeah, exactly.
I'm really buzzing about this answer, guys. All right, prepare yourselves.
Oh man, it's funny. But Mrs. Woods was legendary. Man. I love Mrs. Woods.
I think also it kind of helped me that like Mrs. Woods was one of them. She taught my sister a few years prior, so she like knew. Like,
really?
She like,
okay.
I mean, there were like disadvantages to that because my sister was super good at maths, my brother's super good, and like I was pretty good. Like, so like they expect you to be good, and like you have that reputation of your older siblings on you as well. Like, because my sister went to every school I went to up to year like 13, obviously. So like in middle school, particularly, it's like, "Oh, you're Hannah's like brother. Like, you must be smart." And it's like, okay, great, because my sister got asked to skip year 3. She was that good.
Wow,
but she didn't want to. She didn't want to leave her friends and stuff. And she was already like, she was born in July anyway, so she'd be like almost 2 years younger than some of her classmates if she did.
Wow, yeah, that's crazy, man.
But like,
I never had that in secondary school. In primary school, I had that because all my cousins went. I don't have any brothers and sisters, obviously, but all my cousins went to Longfleet, the same primary school as me.
Yeah.
So I always had that. But in primary school, it doesn't really matter. Like, it is what it is. But in secondary school, I could have done with that. Yeah.
You can get really tarnished with that as well. If your older siblings are like a troublemaker, people just immediatally paint you with the same brush. It's like, well,
that's exactly what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Like, it would have been because Matt went to Poole High.
Right.
You know Matt, my cousin, the 29-year-old. He went to Poole High.
That's mad.
And I'm pretty sure he was a fucking misfit in Poole High. So like, say I went to Poole High, I don't think it would have turned out too well for me.
Right.
But yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh man, you know what's crazy, man? What? Fucking. We're an hour and 7 minutes into this bit. We didn't talk once about the weight loss challenge that we were going to talk about.
I thought about that at the start, and like when I was talking about my injury and stuff, then I thought, we can just come back to it at the end. Like, I mean, how long? Yeah. Like, because we didn't have an official intro. I suppose it has been like over an hour, hasn't it?
I'm looking at it now. It's been an hour 7.
And still, the Fortnite servers are down. Sad times.
Are they down?
They're still,
I wouldn't even know.
They've been down since last night. They've been down.
Oh, that's brutal for Fortnite players. Luckily, I haven't been playing it too much. Oh, I've been playing Wildlands, mate. Oh, I like Wildlands. All right, don't go off topic, but yeah, that's a good game.
But this challenge, this challenge. How you like? Because you've like really like you've gone in hard with something that you're not. You had a bit of experience with, but you're not used to this at this level at all.
Yeah, so I'll tell you my experience so far, and then you tell me yours, and then we'll wrap it up if you want, because it's been an hour anyway.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, well, we'll see anyway. So so when we started this challenge now, and I'm gonna be honest, I've only recorded one. I'm doing one today as well, but I've missed 2 days of the recording. The sort of like, and it's not because I don't want to. I genuinely forget. I swear to God, I completely. Oh yeah,
forget. Yesterday I did the same. I shut down my PC and I had to reboot it all because I was like, oh rip.
I was in bed when I remember yesterday. I was like, there's no way. I'm just not getting out of bed.
It's not too crucial to do daily at the beginning. I mean, if you do like a couple times a week, you'll still see progress. Obviously, it's not that the progress is going to go away. It's just, you know.
Actually, we should give context for those people who maybe didn't listen to the last podcast or don't maybe know what's going on. I'll let you do that.
Okay, so it's very it was very spur of the moment. I can't remember what we were talking about. It might have been like habits, lifestyle, something like that. And we were just like we got inspired. Like that initial spark of motivation you usually need to make a pretty drastic life change, I would say, given our lifestyle as of lately, how unhealthy realistically it's been. To make that change to be like healthy, that's a whole that's an hour conversation in itself. But like, so I think we both decided that it would be a good idea to do some sort of challenge. I think in the end, like initially it was like in my head going to be like a versus type thing, but now it's not so much that. It's like we both do the same challenge separately and keep track together rather than do like
hold each other
like
a challenge a bit as well.
Yeah, exactly. Like I'll message you saying like you still going, you still working out, blah blah blah. How's it going? Like specifically saying how did the workout go, not saying you working out. You know what I mean? Like basically like we've made a commitment to like there's no like prize like and I've done stuff in the past like weight loss challenge. I think a prize that isn't the well-being of yourself and stuff like that. I think that can be dangerous. And I've seen negative effects of doing the way I did it last year. So we basically decided like to both make a commitment at the same time, but not necessarily against each other, more with each other, to be just healthier versions of ourselves by like eating well. Like, everyone can say eating healthy, but like eating clean for the most part, but really hopefully all the time, and then working out as part of a routine rather than like when you feel like it. And that's
at the end of the day.
Days, so.
Yeah, at the end of the day, you want it to be a lifestyle change. You don't want it to just be this thing that we do until we get the prize and then that's it.
Exactly.
So that's why the prize thing is a bit dodgy. That's why I'm glad we're doing it this way instead.
Because when you get the prize, the motivation is way down. I think.
Get the prize, but I'll be back in Pizza Hut.
Celebrating. Let's have a celebrating pizza.
But I want, like, ideally, and it's so impossible to think of this being possible now, but like ideally I want this to just be part of my life forever. Like I'm sick of being fat. Like, you know what I mean? It's not just the way you look, but it's the way you feel.
The feeling
how it plays with your mind.
Yeah. Taking everything else out of the equation, how you feel in yourself is, and it's something you notice. Like when you get better, you really notice the positive benefits.
Yeah, that's when you. Yeah, exactly. And I've never been like fit. Like you've been fit, so I'm sure you know what's in store.
I know what's at the end of the road if I stick to it, and that is.
I have no idea. I'm excited. I've never been fit, but I've always had. I've been like. Not fat, but I've never been like fit. I've always had like chub.
You'll be very surprised.
Bit of chub.
I
can't wait.
This amount of, I think the way we set it up
just talking about it
has been very like it's very good. Like the way we set it up, and it's not about going for drastic losses or drastic gains. It is about the slow changes and keeping it consistent for months. Because if it was a weight loss challenge, how long can you really keep a challenge going? Like a month, maybe. But
exactly.
You'll be like if you keep up, like for instance, like. It's very easy to say, but take the first few days of this week, because if you guys don't know, we're recording this on a Thursday. Take the first few days this week, repeat that for a few months. You'll be literally amazed. And I think the motivating part for me is that it's not beyond our capabilities, because we've pushed ourselves to the limit we need to push ourselves to get where we need to get. We just need to keep going. You know?
That is it.
There's nothing new in store from this point. We've done the worst part, which is when you're as unfit as you'll hopefully ever be, and you try and push yourself. That's the hard part. There'll be like harder parts in the future, but like,
of course,
you just got to keep going now. And
we're there's a lot of people who are just sort of like they never really have that sort of mindset that gets them into being lazy and fat, and they're all just always fit from like when they were a fucking kid. And I think it's really hard for them to understand what it's like to have your say you have like a reset button, like your neutral state is being fat.
Yeah.
Like that's what I mean.
People
so,
assume
like,
your neutral state is being fit and normal, like,
and then we
in
just
quotes.
get fat.
Yeah.
But it's just I've always been fat. All I know is fat. All I know is what it is to be fat, and I have no, and I've never really cared. Like I never really got like. No, actually, like, when people call me fat, etc., in comments or that shit, I don't even, like, care, because I know it's going to change, so I don't really care, like, I'm fat, I know I'm fat, like, it is what it is, it's going to change, like, big deal.
Yeah.
The voice thing, etc., and, like, forehead, and that's a bit, like, okay, fuck you, but, like, the fat thing, things that you could change, I don't really care, because they're right, I am fat and I do need to change.
Exactly.
And I really hate, it really gets to me, man, when people make excuses. These, like, fat people make excuses and they're
Have
like...
you seen the, like, whole fat acceptance movement? Like, people, like... And it does kind of annoy me because,
really?
like...
Is there a thing
it's
like that?
Well, yeah, it's like people saying, like, the whole, like, one size is beautiful and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, we're not saying overweight can't be beautiful, but that doesn't mean it's not unhealthy. It's still unhealthy to be...
I don't think it's beautiful.
No, but, like, I mean, like, some people can find someone who's overweight attractive. Like, that's not what people are saying.
Yeah,
but regardless, it's unhealtly.
Yeah,
and I think people are like masking it by saying,
die earlier because
I'm still beautiful. But, like, yeah, you may look great, sure, whatever, but...
You have a great heart, great mind, great personality, but at the end of the day, Jessica, you're dying at 40, so you may
sort it out, Jessica.
Like, yeah, exactly.
Like, and it is, like, I think I saw a video,
Jessica's
like, people talking about, like, fat people, or the movement is making fat people feel oppressed, when they're not, like, oppressed. They're, like, people get, like, if they're told facts that upset them, some people don't like that. But you need to hear it. You need to hear it. And
you do, yeah, exactly. It annoys me that fat acceptance. I knew fat acceptance was a thing. Like I've seen people sort of going around, and there is a point where it's under. I mean, last night I swear, because I was in bed at 12 o'clock last night, and I didn't touch my phone, nothing, and I had my eyes shut like 99% of the time up till about 3 a.m. And then that's when I just gave up. I was like, I know when it's not happening. I'm just like, it's not happening. Get my phone out, start watching videos and shit, and hopefully get tired watching videos.
Yeah,
that's what I do if I can't sleep for like 3-4 hours.
Try and make it,
So I was there and I was watching videos and I was like, I'm gonna watch some Boogie 2988 or 1988. Mate, love him. Been watching him since the days where he was fucking smashing his head on keyboards and shit. He's doing bits, man. Yeah, mate. Have you seen his weight loss recently?
I have. Yeah.
He looks unreal now, man. Like compared to what he was.
Exactly.
I'm so happy
the
for
state
him.
he was at, obviously there'll always be visible like scars of like skin or whatever, but like he must have dropped. What has he dropped? Like 200 pounds now, nearly.
Or I think something like that. Yeah,
since
honestly,
before surgery or something, and
insane.
it's so gradual, like week by week. But like when you look at it as a whole, it's mad. And he is still overweight, obviously, but he was such an extreme case. Like what he's done is crazy.
Do you know his story?
To what extent? Like from when? Because I've been watching him since
when he was
before
a kid, like his childhood.
I don't really know much about that. No.
When I heard that, mate, it just changed my perspective on just because he's obese to the point where it's a mental disorder. Like it's not. We're just like it'd be harsh to even call us fat. We're like chubby.
Yeah,
I mean, like, we're
not
really fat. When you think of fat, you think of like obese. But like, I mean, we are fat. But you know what I mean? Like, he's fat, or he was fat. He still is fat, but he's doing amazing now. I'm so happy for him. But he was obese, man. And you think to yourself, how is that possible? And then he made a video called "The Truth About Why I'm Fat." I really suggest you watch it, man. It's heartbreaking.
I think I have
Drawn
seen
My
it.
Life.
I think there was.
He
like,
talks about.
Go ahead, yeah.
His
dad. Was it something to do with his dad?
It was his mum. It was his dad. His dad went deaf in like mining, like in the coal mine, stuff like that, or something like that. His dad went deaf anyway, and then ended up in basically like a vegetated state, and he couldn't talk or anything to his dad, and his dad would just like stare at a wall all day, couldn't really respond or anything like that, and then he died of cancer.
Wow.
So when he was a kid, that's one thing. The second thing is when he was a kid, his whole childhood, his mum used to beat him every day. Beat him every day, and he tells stories about how one time his mum, like, he's got his eye sort of fucked up, his left eye, because he was in the car one time and his mum tried to claw his eye out. He had to dive out of a moving car to save himself. So his mum was ridiculously abusive, and he underwent sexual assault when he was a kid and all this shit. And it obviously, food was like his comfort. Everyone bullied him at school. No one liked him, and I was like almost in tears watching it. And he's drawn my life. It's heartbreaking, man. And I can't believe he's as sane as he is now.
Real. Like
so real, dude.
He won't sprinkle things with like glitter. He'll tell you like it is because he's had a real rough time.
Yeah, man.
He'll just tell you about it.
Real rough time. I can't imagine. Like I have like. So I think of myself, like, all the things that I deal with and all that shit, and I think to myself, like, okay, like, we all go through shit, we all deal with shit. I'm not saying me, I'm just about everyone. Like, we all deal with shit. And we all struggle. We all think like, fuck, man, why is it so difficult? We all think that. But imagine what it's like for someone who's actually been through that kind of stuff, man. And have you seen Nicole Arbour's video? You must have, Dear Fat People.
Yep.
It's like, I see that, mate, and it fucks me off. And the first time I ever saw it, I was like, yeah, she's right. She's right.
Like, yeah, like, what she says is a point, but her delivery was terrible.
The delivery was terrible. Yeah. It's like she doesn't take into consideration like what people go through, like Boogie, for example, why he's obese, man. He's got like PTSD. Yeah. He's got like these mental disorders. Food is like a comfort for a lot of people, and
I think she was trying to like
killing himself and shit.
A serious issue and a serious point, and put her own little dumb comedic twist to it.
She's a bitch, and
anyway, that didn't.
Nicole Arbour's a bitch anyway.
Yeah, and like, because the if you look very bare bones at the point. Yes, fat people are like in a quote killing themselves if they are actively making themselves worse, but she didn't need to do what she did the way she did.
And it can't come like that from someone who's never been fat.
No.
If anyone's gonna make that kind of video, then at least have been fat. You know what I mean? Because you don't understand it. It's it's like people trying to talk about depression when they've never been depressed or anything like that. It pisses people off because you just don't get it.
It's so hard to explain. Yeah, like, well, like you can't like I don't think like if you've been like fit your whole life, you just can't imagine genuinely crying yourself to sleep because just hating the way you look and the way you are, and like
you cannot picture it exactly.
Like like for instance, like there were times I would like cry myself to sleep. Like it sounds bad, like when I was like 12 years old, whatever. And that's sort of almost before the point. Like that's partly my fault, but also partly like my lifestyle, parents, blah blah blah, whatever. And like and that's just me being a kid and not really knowing how to take care of myself. So like and
I get what you mean.
So like that's my fault, but like at the same time I'm naive for a reason. Like I'm so young, and like
exactly.
And for something that's like yes, it's my fault, but not really at the same time. It's like I'm genuinely like heartbroken at how I am. Like you don't understand what it's like, and they're like, oh, just work out, stop eating. It's like
oh, it angers me. Angers me, mate. Yeah, you've no idea.
And it's strictly speaking, it is that simple. It is go on a diet and work out, and you'll lose weight. But it's not that easy to do.
To get into the mindset of loving it, you have to fall in love with it, man. That's the thing, and that's why going full circle back to what we were talking about with the challenge.
Yeah, about you.
That's why this time it feels different because I'm doing something completely different. Like
so talk about like what you've been doing.
So every time I've tried to lose weight, it was always eat healthy and go to the gym like 4 minimum times a week. But I used to go like 5-6 times a week. I mean, I say I'm used to it. It was always for like a couple of weeks at a time that I'd stop, and that's why I haven't really lost the weight. But it was always gym and lifting weights and a bit of cardio, maybe like a sprint on the treadmill for like 10 minutes. Like really like doing it the wrong way. And I never really thought about it. I always used to thought as long as I'm lifting weights, I'm still sweating at the end of the day.
You look at the goal,
right?
That's what you're looking at.
And I think like, and you really should be doing cardio or just anything that's cardiovascular. Is that the word? Yeah, I think that's the word. Fuck sure. You know what I mean? Anyway, and. So this time round, when we say we do this challenge, for the first time ever, I've cancelled my gym membership. So I've had a gym membership going for like as long as I can remember. I've always had a gym, whether I've been going or not, that's a question. But I've always had a membership. To not have one is like alien to me. It feels weird.
Yeah.
But the other day when we started this challenge, I cancelled my membership and I signed up instead to a place called Ippon, which is a martial arts gym where they do MMA, Muay Thai and Jiu-Jitsu and like MMA wrestling and like other stuff like that. And they do like circuits in the morning, stuff like that, which I was meant to go to today, but I fucking didn't sleep. And I honestly, I woke up today and not woke up, like I got out of bed today and I was like, I should power through. This should be a test, but I really just cannot. I was like, oh my God. So, and back in the day, this is another big thing before I get back to what I was doing. I would take that failure and I'll be like, right, well, I failed that. Let's just fucking eat a pizza.
For the day, I give up. Literally me. But I'm
coming into it now with this. I'm happy that the start of this challenge has been shit for me because it sort of sets the bar, like, if that makes sense. It's not like I've started solid and then it can only go downhill. Like, it can really only go uphill from here. I've had a sleepless night and I'm not doing exactly what I want to do. I'm still eating well, though, so I'm not letting these little failures sort of determine how the outcome of this fucking whole challenge thing, if that makes sense. I'm accepting failures as they come, and I think that's important. But anyway, moving on to what I was talking about with the whole fucking martial arts thing. Since I was a kid, and I really don't know why this didn't stick with me earlier, but it took till I was 19 anyway. But since I was a kid, I've always loved... It started off with boxing. Like, my whole family has a history of martial arts. So, like, my dad was like a black belt kickboxer, something like that. I can't remember, or some shit like that. And my uncle, I think I talked about this in the last podcast. My uncle Ahmed was by far like the hardest guy in Lebanon at one point, and he was like a celebrity almost. Like, he was a professional boxer. He boxed for a living, and he was just fucking just killed people, man. Like, he was unreal. Not literally, but he was unreal. And my cousin, for example, to be doing martial arts his whole life, had like competitive fights and shit. And it's always been in the family. So there's something inside of me that's just like I like martial arts. And the friends I hung around with when I was a kid as well, we all always used to like sort of play fight and get into fights as well, but like mostly just play fight and like mess around and just fuck with each other. So I've always loved it. So then when I was a kid, I started boxing. Yeah. And I think if I started what I'm doing now when I was a kid, I would have stuck at it. But boxing, I loved boxing, but when you do a boxing class, it is honestly like 30%, no, like 45% like fitness, circuits and skipping and all that kind of stuff, and the rest of it's sort of like training. Yeah. And I hated all the fitness stuff. I just wanted to train. If from the get-go it was like training with pad work and sparring and on the bags and stuff like that, if it was all with that, I would have stuck at it. But it was like that was the case.
It's enjoyable for you.
Yeah, exactly. I love boxing, but I hated all the fitness stuff that came with it. Yeah. And you lose a lot of weight just by punching anyway. Like by boxing, it's crazy how much. If you spar for 3 rounds, for example, with like another amateur or anything like that, you're like dripping sweat by the end of it. But the amount of fucking energy it takes out of you is ridiculous. So I was loving it, and then I quit, and then I just never really came back to it. I did it for like 2 years, never really came back to it. And then it came to this point now where I was like, okay, I need to lose weight. Like it's 19, I'm 19. Fucking summer's coming up. Me and Matt have started this challenge. Am I really gonna try the gym again? Like I've done it every time. Yeah. I need to try something different. So I thought, right, I'm gonna cancel the gym membership, start this membership up at the martial arts gym where I get to go any day, any time, at any day I want and train. Yeah. And there's classes, and even if there's not classes, you can go and train on the bags and the pads and everything like that. Yeah. I was like, fuck, I'm gonna try that. And I've only been to 2 lessons because we've only doing this challenge for 4 days. So I can't obviously. Even when I started the gym, I was loving it, so I can't really talk too much now. I'll have to come back to this in a couple of weeks' time and let you guys know. Yeah. But at the moment, I am like in love with it. Like I'm excited to go, and it's crazy, man. Like the amount of mate, I'm burning way more calories than I am doing that than I ever would lifting weights in the gym or anything like that. Well, it's actually insane,
the gym is
man.
Like, it just is more boring than because it's a sport. What you're doing now,
and I've never been able to get into a sport. I've loved football. Like I've always liked football. I can't say loved. I've always liked it. I enjoy playing it, but I can never really join a team and like stick at it. I don't like it that much. Rugby, I never really got into. Yeah. All these different sports, and they never did martial arts in school. Otherwise, I definitely would have took it up. Because I don't know why they never did.
There were some people at school you would love to take down as well.
Oh my god, don't even get me started. But like, for example, like martial arts now, mate, it takes up so much energy, mate. By the end of the session, I'm literally like dripping sweat to the point where like I'm blinded by my sweat. Yeah. And I'm leaving the gym, and I'm in the car, and I put my jacket on. I've ruined my jacket because all the sweat and like the car's like, and I love it, mate. And like the amount of cardio I do is absolutely ridiculous, and I feel like this is the best chance of me because I love it. I love what I do, and the fitness side of it just comes with it.
It's like an added extra. You don't have to think about pushing yourself physically. Yeah, like you just do. Like you do what you do.
If it wasn't making me fit, I'd still do it. That's the important thing. I wouldn't do gym if it wasn't making me stronger.
I can't imagine. I can't imagine anyone would for the pure enjoyment of the gym and lifting stuff. If it didn't have any effect on their didn't have any effect on their body, I don't think anyone would go.
Probably a few crazy people, but I doubt anyone would. Yeah. But like training and just learning the skill of martial arts, like that would have been enough for me. But the fact that it comes with guaranteed weight loss, it's just like holy shit. Like this is it. So hopefully I stick at it, man. Like I think I will. But obviously I've been in this position many a times where motivation deceives me. So I don't want to. Yeah.
I'll be harsh as well. I'll be harsh with you. Same as you for me as well. Like,
exactly.
It's like there is like when you do when you're trying to help someone lose weight or whatever, or you're doing it with someone, it's easy to be like, oh, it's fine, it's just one day, blah blah blah. But like realistically, you've got to like for instance, like I said to Gina, my girlfriend, for those who don't know, I basically I was at hers yesterday, and I didn't work out in the morning because I had my theory test and all that other stuff, and I wanted to do at least one workout for the day, and I said to her, she then ended up not working the evening. She was like, can you stay? And I said, like, trust me, I really don't want to leave. I know you don't want me to leave, but every time I start, I always use like my love for her and being with her as a way out, as an excuse. So I said, and she's like, you can work out here. I was like, I just said like, it won't
Gina,
be as,
what
like,
you doing?
I said like,
to him.
I said it won't be as good. Like she wants to support me in every way, but like, and she did say after, she's like, I know I'm being selfish. I just really didn't want you to go. I was like, yeah, I understand, but like, And I basically said like,
that's nice.
I'm at my best at home, and I need to stop for these next few months. Stop using you as a way out for like, because like if I could spend every minute with her, I would. But I need to say like, I want to go home.
Glad that you have that.
Yeah. Like
that's awesome to have. Not a lot of people have that. That's actually awesome. That you guys can actually spend like every minute together and not get sick of each other.
Oh, people think it's weird.
Ever doing that with anyone.
And it's at the point where like when we leave, I'll miss her as soon as I leave, and same for her.
That's mad.
It's weird.
That's crazy. That's awesome.
And I could be with her every moment, and that's what makes it hard. But I was like, I know in my head the way to get the best workout is to be by myself at home in my room, because that's how I've been doing it for years. I've never got mad pumps at the gym, whether it's because people are watching me or because I just don't feel comfortable. I'm always better at home. So I was like, I'm gonna come home and I'm gonna do it, and it's going well. Like I feel good about it, and I feel like I can keep up for a while, and I've got like like they always talk about targets need to be measurable and achievable and time based. I told you about the whole like 2 week, 2 month, 4 month thing, and seeing that and knowing that I don't have to drop drastic weight, because I've pulled like figures like 15 pounds, 20 pounds in 2 weeks before. I don't need to do that. Like obviously like at the beginning it's like pretty like mad weight loss. Like it's been like something like 8 pounds in the last 4 days, but that's not gonna keep going. Like I can do 2 pounds a week and build muscle at the same time, and that's fine, and that's what's sustainable.
Yeah, so exactly.
And I'm excited at the prospect that it's more doable this time round. Like that excites me.
That's why. Yeah, that does excite me as well, and that's why this whole video accountability thing, not even accountability, the video thing is more just for like comparison really for me.
It is.
Being able to see, and I've only done one, so I can't really compare anything right now, but like I'm going to do it today, and I'm going to look. I don't think I'll see any differences in this small amount of time, but you never know, like it's still, but it's like you said, it's the idea of the fact that
you could
in a month's time, or even in 2 weeks time, I'm sure in 2 weeks time I'll see a bit of a difference.
You'll see something,
you think so?
For sure. Going from what you were like to the lifestyle you have now, 2 weeks, you will see, I guarantee you'll see some kind of change, but you wouldn't have seen it had you not documented it. That's the crazy thing. It's like when you think about like growing old with someone, you meet them at like as a teenager, say, you get married to them, essentially when you're 80, they look the same, quote, but they obviously don't. Because you see them every day, they look the same, which is like, because when you look at old people, you think, how can they be attracted to that old person? But like to them, that's the same person,
Oh shit, I never really thought about that. Yeah, that's interesting.
Mad.
Yeah, man. Seeing those changes like definitely spurs you on, because that is the biggest reason why people, give up, because they're not seeing changes in like a week or two.
Exactly.
The reason I give up many a time.
Yeah, for some reason. Like we said before, 2 weeks is the time period, I feel like, for like at least us two.
Yeah, 2 weeks.
You think, like 2 weeks, that's like full circle, that's a schedule done. You look at it, you see no difference, you're like, right, I'm done. But if you do it right, there's a difference every time.
But I can't actually logically, and if you ask me now, I know that 2 weeks is nowhere near enough time to start seeing like any real changes,
like massive,
especially without any video comparison or anything. Yeah. Like, there's no way.
No way.
So I don't know why when I do 2 weeks, I feel like I've done months and that I've made no progress, and I don't know why my head is fucking.
I don't know what it is about 2 weeks that makes it the sweet spot, but it is the sweet spot.
Yeah,
of, like,
man, such a lazy mind.
Maybe it's because at school we were conditioned to do things on a fortnightly basis. Like, genuinely, it was like, you'd restart your, like, school life again every 2 weeks. It's like, oh, we're back to Monday A, we got this double slot of tech, and it's like, we're back.
Yeah, that probably does play a part.
That must do something, because we were always on a 2 week time schedule,
School has fucked me, man. Like, Mr. Henry, fucking...
having him every 2 weeks for 2 hours
timetable. Oh, mate, the hen. Oh, I can't handle
it. The big Ian.
Oh, Ian. Oh, my God. We were meant to fucking... on the last day of school, we were meant to... me and James, my mate James, not Turner, Jarrett, we were meant to vandalise his office and, like, put sticky notes. Because he hated the word logic. Because every time, not really with me, but because obviously he hated me and James the most, but every time with James anyway, James would always say, when they were arguing, he'd say, but there's no logic in that. Like that. He'd always say that, and he'd always say, like, you're illogical.
Really imagine that.
He'd always call Mr. Henry illogical, and it would make him fuming. Like, Mr. Henry would give him detentions left, right, and centre for things you wouldn't normally get detentions for, because he hated him just as much as he hated me. So we were meant to go to his office and put like as many stickers as we can with just logic on each one, but then we're just like, come on, we need to grow up a bit. Like let's not leave it on a bad note. Like, I wanted to sort of like...
Imagine you went back for your sixth form interview after that Logic prank.
Yeah. Oh, mate, I may as well have done the Logic thing looking back on it, mate. Like, that sixth form interview was brutal, mate. From the get-go, I knew there's no way I'm getting into sixth form. Like, this guy does not like me. Yeah. Like, I was late to the interview as well, which probably didn't help. He's like, so yeah, nothing's changed, Max. So I was like, well, Mr. Henry, I'm trying to be nice. I'm trying to rekindle this non-existent relationship, but like, he was not allowing. I think to be fair, I gave him like a good 3-4 years of hell, so I can't really blame him. Like, I made him probably hate his school life. Yeah. I made him hate his job, definitely. I don't think he signed up for that. I don't think that was part of his fucking... Oh, man.
That wasn't in the job description, the old Kazelle.
That's what I was looking for, yeah. No, I'm sure it wasn't. Just in the bottom, like, Kaz is going to be a cunt.
The teachers must have some sort of disclaimer, or at least pre-knowledge that they must like be like, some students, they're gonna get on your nerves a bit, you know?
Yeah, you'd think so.
But probably not. Probably not. Like I think they're legally required to be told that their students are going to mess with them, but some kids just are those kids. But... Nevertheless, that's rounding up the podcast. I feel like with your Mr. Henry experience. So,
I could go on fucking hours or. Mate.
To recap, like we're both starting this challenge, and although like we're coming at it from different ways, we're both positive about the future. Whether it's been a positive start or like there's been some negatives, you can take positives from those negatives, and it's gonna be exciting.
Oh man, I'm looking forward to it.
And like the documenting of fitness, that's why we started the podcast as well. Like, there's going to be changes like that, like going back and like rather than change of appearance, change of opinions, change of outlook as well. And I think it's going well.
Well, this is episode 6, and this, I don't know about you, but mate, to me, this is by far the best episode, in my opinion.
Well, that's the thing, it feels like it. And the same with episode 5 last week. It felt like the best episode as well.
This just felt like
natural, normal. Well, we have no notes again, like 0 notes at all.
0 notes, yeah.
Which is
I don't even know how we've done
that.
That
was inconceivable with episode 1, and that wasn't that was episode like there wasn't any specific topic, like, but we had loads of things that we could potentially go on just in case we hit a rut. But now it happens like and I don't know about you, but like before when you start like weekly, you think, man, how are we gonna sit down for 2 hours a week and do it? But now I'm thinking, weekly is like, it almost feels like not enough, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like, I swear I was honestly thinking of suggesting twice a week, but like maybe not now, but
yeah, like
in the future we could.
Realistically, twice a week, like, it's probably not a great idea. Like, it's good to keep going weekly, but if I look at it and think in a year we'll have done 50 episodes, like, that doesn't feel like enough, because I feel like we are much better at it, you know?
I mean, twice a week isn't as inconceivable as you think, man. I mean, for now, weekly is definitely keep it a week, especially with our channels and both trying to build our channels and stuff. But I don't think we should write twice a week off in the future. Not the near future, but the future.
It's
like
Joe
Rogan does, like sometimes 2-3 podcasts in a day.
Yeah,
like, which is crazy, crazy. I don't know how he could do that. I could not do that. No. But yeah, man. So it's definitely something.
Each guest brings a new, new thing.
I'm looking forward to bringing in guests, man. Yeah, that's gonna be when it's gonna get exciting at that point. Definitely, it's already exciting, but that's gonna be add something new element.
We'll definitely. But I think by episode 10 we will have had somebody on, but we just gotta
100%
go forward and actually make that happen. So, but yeah, definitely. I guess that's gonna wrap it up for the podcast. Like we said at the beginning, anything you want to comment about what you've heard, or even nothing, like before you watch the podcast, if you have something you want to say, drop it in the comments and let us know.
Definitely, 100%. Yeah, let us know. That was awesome, man.
There we go. All right. So if you want to check out Max, want to check out me, links will be in the description. Anything you want to add?
No, just had an amazing time doing this podcast. Honestly, I love this podcast, and thank you for listening.
And I'm so glad we've done it as well. Like,
same, man. Good. I swear, and I slept at 7 a.m. I ended up falling asleep at 7. Like, I set my alarm for 10 because obviously I knew this podcast was happening, which is good because it got me up because I would have slept at like 4 p.m. otherwise.
Yeah.
So I'm really happy we arranged it for this time. But I was really worried because I was on like 3 hours sleep. I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna fucking.
Honestly, you can't tell. You can't tell like the way you've spoken.
Oh, cheers, man. Thank you. Yeah, I feel alright. Honestly, I've had a coffee now. I don't really feel. I know I haven't slept well, but like
sometimes that happens though. Your body does that with 3 hours sleep. It just kicks you. I mean, it might hit you the next day.
Survival mode almost, yeah.
But either way, survival mode's for another time. We're gonna wrap this up now.
Yeah, let's fucking before it gets to 2 hours.
All right, yeah. So thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy it, leave a like and leave a comment, and we'll catch you in the next one next week.
Peace. What is going on, guys? It's Max. Thank you guys so much for listening to the podcast. If you made it to the end, and I just thought, like, I may as well add it at the end. For the people who actually got to the end, I'll just add the 3 minutes of the prior conversation that we had before starting the podcast, because when this podcast started, we were already talking about some shit, so I thought I'd just add it at the end for you guys. Literally like 3 to 4 minutes of conversation, just like for the OG listeners who, you know, just want to add a little extra taste, you know what I mean? So, hope you guys enjoy, and catch you in next week's episode. Peace. Alright, yeah, you were saying.
Yeah, so like, well, I had this, like, I injured my back, like, a few years ago, like, exercise and stuff, and then when I go back to working out, sometimes it, like, starts to, like, hurt a bit when I go, like, straight in, and, like, I'm sitting, because you know, the gamer
like
chairs.
Your lower back?
Sort of, like, in between on one particular side. I think it's also linked with, like, bowling and cricket, because it's, like, the side that I stretch when I bowl and that, and it's kind of, it used to hurt when I bowled and stuff, and then, and, like, it's weird now, because, like, you forget how bad your posture is when you actually sit properly.
Oh, mate, I know.
But the thing with, like, I used to hate, you know, the little, like, back cushion in those seats? It's like, why is it there? Like, when you're trying to slouch, it's really annoying.
I fucked mine off.
But like, I'm sitting, I put the chair up straight, and it feels like I'm almost, like, leaning forward. My posture's so good, but I look at the chair, and it's still slightly back a bit. And, like, I'm making my, like, I'm using the back to force myself to sit up, and it actually feels really good. I really like it.
Oh, you got used to it?
Well, I've been sat like it for like 10 minutes only.
I thought you were like grinding at it for like a week.
No, just today. Like I decided to, like, you know what, my back's feeling a bit weird. I'm gonna put it up straight.
I mean,
and it feels good.
Yeah, I should be more careful with that, because when I first started working at that office job, when I was doing the technical support, they had these fucking, mate, I swear, everyone had these like mad office chairs, and because I was the new guy, they just like sent me this shit chair that I like. I wish I could have a picture of it or something, but it had like a mate, like a bump. Like the back wasn't even straight.
Is it like one of those chairs that like, so like it goes from the bottom of the top bit, and then it goes like, it is. There's like no
bottom, so the bottom is a gap. So you know your lower back's fucked from get go, and then you got like a bump that like pushes your middle back in, so
and then it goes back. Yeah, yeah. Like,
and I have to sit there for like 8-9 hours a day, and it's like, and when I did that job, I was 16, and that was like, I started getting back problems, like my lower back was hurting, and I was like, oh man, like this is bad. I fucked my back, and I thought it was fucked for good. That's how bad it was hurting so much. But then I demanded a new chair, said that this is like fucking, you know, like abuse.
I tell you one thing though, like I used to have, like, when I had back issues, like with press ups, I'd always arch in a bit, and I wouldn't realise. And I finally decided to look up the fix for it the other day, doing press ups to like stop back pain. I mean, it twinges a little bit now because I was already injured, but when I get better, I think it'll be fine. You just gotta, like, it feels weird, but it's crazy how much it works. You just gotta, like, clench your glutes in, so it's really weird. But if you press up like that, it actually does help, and it's like,
really?
Savior, yeah.
I mean, you do a ridiculous amount of press-ups though, so
I think that's probably, for me, like, that's like the best exercise you can do, because it's so, like,
my dad says that as well. My dad's ripped, so like, you're on the right path there, mate. Yeah.
All inclusive. It does like everything.
It is incredible. They're just long. I love press-ups. They are long. And I remember, it was only a couple of years ago, but I couldn't do a single press-up.
I remember you saying that, yeah.
Yeah, man. And now I can, like, boss out, like, to be fair, not that many. Like, in one go, I can boss out, I think, probably 30 to 40 if I push myself 40.
Especially for, like your weight, though, like, as well. That's like, pretty, like, that's strength, you know, like, to do it with.
Yeah, like, I consider I couldn't do any at one point. Like, I think when I was, like, 15, I'll say, maybe 14, I don't know. Yeah, man. Pull-ups. That's one thing. Pull-ups, I still can't do a single pull-up. That's bad.
Yeah.
That's bad. Oh, man, it annoys me. Yeah. Anyway, I'm guessing we started the podcast.
I don't know. When I started the, like, posture conversation, I was kind of...